I'm your host, Eric Crow Draven. It's official. Welcome to the Cipher. Welcome. I've been expecting you. I have. To whom it may concern, they say life is about choices. When you want better, you put yourself in a position to do better. You see, I come from a place where those who look like me don't often make it past their 18th birthday alive or without a jail record. Maybe I shouldn't be writing this, but music, the streets, and sports, we look as a way out of our poverty. Dysfunctional families, failing public education system with uninspired teachers and invisible role models. Experience builds character. It is the windows to my past that reminds me of who I was and where I'm from compared to who I am, what I've accomplished.
And let's take it to the streets. Take it to the streets.
So my first question to you is, what is poetry?
That's all you. I got question number 2.
He's like, I got ends. I got the
I hope
ends.
question number 2 is difficult. Poetry is expression. However you express yourself, that's poetry. It doesn't necessarily have to rhyme, because you're not necessarily putting it down to a beat that people are going to want to listen and rhyme to. So poetry is however you express yourself.
What your answer should have been my expression drips from pen tips, because that's what her poem was about. So I mean, it makes sense.
So to you though, what is poetry?
I think it's basically whatever you make it. I mean, like whatever you put your pen to paper and whatever comes out is poetry, because some people write poems that you could share. Some people write things for themselves. Everybody writes different types of things. Some people write songs. It's all different. It's relative to your life and relative to what you feel. It's whatever you make it.
Is there a difference between hip hop and poetry?
Yes, I would say that in the beginning of hip hop, probably not, because although they put it to a beat, I'm pretty sure it started a cappella, and hip hop over time has changed to now something that a lot of people can't relate to, and it's becoming more associated with fads and fashion than what it used to be about, which was what's really going on and the issues that we all faced and oppression and everything that we all faced together and that we could actually relate to and understand and get us through certain things. And now it's just kind of something to bump your head to. It's more about the beats.
Same question.
Yeah, she said it. She took the words out of my mouth. Everything exactly the same. I feel like it comes from the same place, but it's starting to drift apart. And what's sad about it is the people that are fighting to have a real message and get something out there is the people that nobody wants to listen to, and that bothers me, because it's a lot. It's easy to just say anything, about money, cars, and women, and just mix it all together and just put some hi-hats and 808s on it, but to really write something that comes from you're from down here that everybody else is gonna understand, that's harder, and nobody sees the effort that goes into it, and we're not on the receiving end of all the things that come from hip hop and what hip hop has become, rather.
Okay. Is there something that you hate about poetry?
Is there something I hate about poetry? I wouldn't say it's something I hate about poetry, but one of my pet peeves with poetry is when every single word rhymes: light, bright, kite, bite, all of that. Like and I know it might just be me. Some people actually relate to it. And when you're just getting started, that might be the only way you know how, but I can't sit in a room and listen to that all night. I just can't. I'm like star, far, car, Mars, all that. It's just not. It's not for me. Flowers and powders. There we go. I can't do it. That's about it.
Okay. Same question.
I don't. Probably the same thing, and more so, I don't really like when people explain themselves too much right before, because I feel like you should have explained yourself in your piece. But I guess sometimes you write a little bit deeper than you expect most people to know, so I guess, or understand rather. So I guess you have to. But other than that, I wouldn't say so. I like all poetry. the most part.
But that's something for people who do 12-hour introduction?
Yeah, the 12-hour intros, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, I give a little intro sometimes, but I usually try to just make it like, hey, the name of this is da-da-da.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You also don't have to like go into where you were when you wrote your poem. Like I wrote this one time, I was in the bathroom, was sitting down, it was crazy, the water was running. It's a lot.
Pitter patter. There was the rain on my
It was
window.
a lot. And then your poem has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's great. Tell me that after. I kind of want to hear the poem. That's it. That's pretty much it.
For the next generation coming up, what would you say to them to encourage them?
Well, now there are a lot of poetry workshops. I remember when I started, there really weren't that many, but now like a lot of people are doing workshops, and now they have like all these poetry shows that are trying to get on air, and even not, they're like on YouTube. So I mean, if you want to listen and get inspiration on where you want to find your style, then I would say, take a look at YouTube or go to a poetry reading. If you're afraid, then just go to a couple poetry readings and notice that there are people who get up there even with their books and they spit something, or they'll tell you it's their first time spitting something. You get yourself out there, even if you just write for you, then write for you and be proud of what you're writing. If you want to go to workshops to work on it, you can do that. But if it's all for self, then do that, whatever makes you happy.
I'd say like just educate yourself, like in everything, like as far as life in general first, just like it's important to get your education, because just based off like where we've come from, we're not ahead. We're like, we don't have a head start like us as black people, you know what I mean? We don't have a head start, so you have to have something. So you need to come off with some education, or we're not gonna get anywhere. That just in life. And then as it relates to poetry, you have education so that people can't, use you for for your talents and things that you have. Like I feel like a lot of people that are in hip hop and things like that, they did write about things that, they felt and that they liked and things they felt people needed to hear, but then, you start to hear figures, you start to hear things you never heard of, and you just let people twist you up and you lose sight of who you are. And that's, poetry is so reliant on who are you, that once you lose who I am, it's like, now what is your poetry? Where is your poetry? You know what I mean? So that's most important, I feel.
Welcome.
All right, y'all. No worries. Welcome to the Cipher.
You already know it's E Major. You know it's the youngest member of Team Town. You know when you're broke and you're a sucker, you're unemployed asking for some dough from your mother. It's hilarious, cause I stroll through my block and see a lot of that. Dealers asking fiends questions like, where my dollar at? Then they see a bad chick they wanna holler at, flashing the 20 on top of singles like they got a stack. Same week, get knocked with a pot of crack, 2 felonies in a row. Now you gotta rap. Oh, you can't forget about them ladies, 17 getting it in, making them babies. Son from the other block, he rented a Mercedes. Told every line was pimping it like crazy. Maybe she would have been a little bit smarter, but her mother was never home and she never met her father. Legs thick, butt big up to her spine. In other words, man, her body's way ahead of her mind. In the building making sales, getting bread on the grind, cause she had a child early, ahead of her time, see. I make verbal movies and even musicals to show the little kids what the hood can really do to you. It's hard living in an environment when your fam is in the gym and you're hustling to supply the rent money. That's why I stay focused, get my stuff together, cause deep down inside, I know that there's something better.
Your roar has been minimized to a purr. Darkness deafens your light. Your dreams have been stolen by the fear that nurtures your plight. Lioness, arise. Rise like the beautiful sun that greets you from the skies. Let your light shine so bright it burns your enemy's eyes. Show your strength in all that you do. Release the weaknesses of your past and allow the Creator to use you. Use your jewel filled with wisdom, overflowing knowledge from the crown. Show the world why you should never be held down. You are a lioness, now rise. Your dreams and purpose deflect the threats of your demise. Traps have been set, there's false premise of promise, delusions of grandeur, all sealed with a Judas kiss. You've been broken, we all have. You've been lied to, so have I. Dwelling deep inside of us is what we need to survive. Dig, discover inner goals. Find what you need in order to free your soul. Let your destiny be your prey. Stalk elevation every day. You have to fight for the honor of your pride. Stop licking your wounds and allowing yourself to be pushed aside. Your cubs are watching, and so is the rest of your lair. As a natural born leader, you must devour your fears. Don't become endangered in this jungle we call life. You are a queen. Lioness, arise.
Tonight is the night. But the night for what? Let me call my baby. Let me see what's up. Hey baby, how was your day? You see, I'm hoping he's up for it, because I want to play. He has no idea what I have in mind. I myself am not clear, but I figure all in good time. Baby, can you meet me? And he says, okay, but yo, where we going? Sweetie, just do what I say. Meet me at the station. I know you're not pleased, but all I can ask is, sweetie, trust me. He's stressing now and a little resistant, but his compliance is necessary, therefore I am persistent. Call him back once more, now the meeting is set, and just the thought of it right now, it's kind of making me wet. I try to find myself something to wear, but by the end of this night, I don't think that he'll care. So as much as I'd like to put on my freakum dress, I opt out instead for my easy access. I reach the location, then hand him a note. And in case you're curious, here's just what I wrote. Shh, don't say nothing and don't talk to me. See, I want to play, so just follow my lead. I hop on the train and then take a seat. Now my lover, he's sitting diagonal from me. The train starts to move, and after just one stop, as he reads the next note, I pull out my super blow pop. I lick and I suck, gently smacking between, when I notice other spectators enjoying the scene. I'm blushing inside and a little intimidated, but this ride is PG. My destination, X-rated. So as he looks up from those words that I wrote, I know all he sees is his dick down my throat. I put my pop on the side so it imprints my cheek, and as I cross my legs, I strategically get my bracelet cut on my dress. So I pull and I tug, exposing the flesh of my thick, brown thighs. Then I slurp up the juices that are building inside before pulling out my pop. Oh shit, that's my stop. I'm at the edge of Brooklyn. Everyone's getting off. Baby's got to keep up so as not to get lost. As I slide through the crowd, I'm difficult to see, but baby ain't taking his eyes off of me. I sashay through the station, but he's getting too close, so I sprint to the exit, cause I'm still the host. I gain a few steps on my way out the station, and as he approaches, I'm sitting on my car waiting. All of a sudden, the weather starts to change. I mean, right then and there, it starts pouring down rain, but our eyes are locked and the water feels good as he forcefully turns me and takes me on the hood. Now normally he would be quite out of luck, but I was counting on this spontaneous fuck. I was lightning and thunder as I orgasm, and I'm screaming from the fuck, plus my leg has a spasm. But he doesn't stop, he's hitting harder and harder. My back starts to sting from the pouring rainwater. Hand on my throat, then he bites me real hard. I didn't mean to call in vain, but I'm like, oh my God, strong deliberate strokes. Then there's a double, I'm coming again. Oh shit, it's a multiple. This shit feels crazy, never had it before. Just as I think it's stopping, here comes one more. I wanna run, but I cannot get free. Wanna cry, feel so good that you wouldn't believe. He's going deeper and deeper, multiples coming faster. This has got to be the prelude to happily ever after. The car starts to alarm, the keys fall to the floor. Someone's watching out the window, but I still want more. I started this shit, but now he's in control and he's pulling on my hairs. He starts to...
Today, I come before you, a product of my past, outliving many of my failures and my elders. Let today be the testimony of persistence and faith. Let today prepare me for tomorrow, in hopes I will see you there.
I want to ask you, what has poetry done for you?
Plain and simple, has kept me sane. You know, whether through the years, the first time around was writing about things as a distraction for what I was going through. Then returning to the scene in 08, 09, I actually started writing about the things I was going through. but both variations have helped keep me sane.
Beautiful, beautiful. What has, or what impact did the presence or absence of your father have on your journey?
Showed me how to be a man. He was there until he passed away. Both my parents were. You know, that quiet strength and dignity. You know, I inherited more than his voice. And as I put in the poem that I wrote when he passed away, I refuse to be sad tonight. Only half the man I aspired to be. You know, so it was definitely a blessing to have him and my mother in my life till they passed.
No doubt. What does happy look like, feel like, and taste like?
Good job. Plain and simple.
No doubt.
Or at least just being able to do without having to worry and pinch the pennies. You know, I mean, in this world, that's what gives you peace of mind, where everything else falls into place. You know, starving artist is cool when you're not living all by yourself.
No doubt. No doubt. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Now, they say that movies give insight to the way that we perceive the world and ourselves. With that being said, what is your favorite movie and why?
Top two, they're tied. Purple Rain and Into the Dragon.
Why?
Well, Purple Rain, that's straight up my boy Prince. And the energy of that film, with just the concert scenes alone, when I first saw that movie, that made me backtrack and say, what's this cat all about? You know, that energy, the cool, the whole aura of just being able to do you and not worry about what other people think because you know what you're all about. And his song's always been a soundtrack to my life. Every album had a song that right there I was going through that. You know, and periodically I go through something that's like, that's that song right there. You know, Into the Dragon, was always a huge Bruce Lee fan, but the hottest thing about that film was you finally got to hear his voice and not that tired, looped stuff. And his voice was so powerful and so cool, and it brought everything together. You know, and here's this little cat with his philosophies and his commitment to doing things for the right reason and just tearing it up. You know, so those are my two favorites.
Okay. Cool. What is the most expensive thing you have ever given away for free?
The most expensive thing I've ever given away for free.
For free. Well, this is totally a poet's question.
Materialistically, I've given away cufflinks. But I think from an artistic side, my time. There's been many occasions where it's like, oh, you want me where? Okay, I'm there. And not asking for a fee, not asking for, you know, pay. It's you got me. You know, just like tonight. So I guess my time and talent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We wear many different hats in our lives.
Yeah.
What hat that you wear has been the most meaningful and most rewarding thus far?
I guess it's a hat I never tried to wear, but people keep placing it on my head when they tell me I inspire them or I uplift them and I motivate them. And it's nothing that I consciously set out to do, and I'm always blown away and honored when I get that response. So I guess it would be that hat, the hat that's always given to me.
Okay. Let me see. If you could delete someone from your journey,
Yeah.
who
my
would
ex-boss.
it be?
Next question.
So you even got to go through that motherfucker.
Yeah, that one. It was the second part of that. So who you replace her with?
Yeah.
That would be my mother, because she passed 7 years before I started writing poetry. But as a kid, I remember her doing dramatic readings. Like one of them was Paul Laurence Dunbar, In the Morn. And she would use me as a prop. But instead of it being the little girl Liza, it was Lias. And I didn't have a speaking role, but I had to hit my cues. And I remember her doing a dramatic reading on the creation, you know, this deep, and God made light, and he said, that is good. You know, she definitely gave me my gift of artistry, and if I could just have it here for a hot second just to see what I've done with it, that would be the person I would bring back and next out that other cat.
No doubt. No doubt. If it was up to you, how would you like to be remembered?
Honestly, that's, you know, if you loved me, if you liked me, if you hated me, just based it on fact. That, you know, whatever your perspective was. That's an interesting question, because if you thinking a lot about it, you're not around to know what it is or feel it. Like, you can't always wanted to be able to sit in the back row at my own funeral, you know, just to see. But I don't even actually think about that anymore, because there's been a couple of occasions where I can honestly say I've gotten my flowers while living. There's been there was a welcome back to the scene in '01 when I was off for a while for health reasons. There was a benefit a couple of years ago when I was going through a whole lot of things, and I truly, truly, honestly got my flowers while living. So I guess just have those people carry those thoughts and sentiments, you know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right. I think this may be one of the last questions. If your life was a reality show, what would it be called, and what would we see?
If my life was a reality show, it would be called Behind the Funky Groovy Cool. And you would see you would see the me. Wow, I don't even know how to put it, because what you see is me.
Right.
But you, like, in every opening, when I say, you know, don't let the fancy suit and pocket square fool you, I'm very shy, sensitive, and insecure.
Right.
That's not a line, that's the truth. You know, and then Nathan P. has allowed me to come out and play the way I would want to, like me lip syncing in my bedroom with Prince. That's the showman in me. But the real me is a quiet, shy guy that's somewhat insecure, somewhat unsure, and I think that's what the reality show would show. You know, just the real. People look at you and think that you have it all together, that everything is pristine, everything is right on point. And it is in that moment, because in that stage, that's my world.
Right.
You know, I am that host, I am that performer.
Right.
But, you know, just showing you the other side, and if you listen closely to the poetry now, you're getting that world. You know, like the poem I did at an event we were at tonight. It was a photograph that this cat Jay Franco took at the Nuyorican before a show, and I was sitting at the piano just playing around, and he took it, and the lighting was amazing. I'm almost in silhouette, but you can tell it's me because you see the brim, you see the pocket square, but the room is empty and you see all the empty chairs.
Wow.
And I'm looking at that, and it hit me like that's me unplugged, and it generated that poem where just talking about there's a melody in my head that you can't hear, but if you look closely, you'll see the me underneath the spotlight's glare. And my favorite line is, I don't even know the poem by heart, but it was, no clapping till he gets up there, no light from a spotlight's glare or whatever, but that's just me, you know, that quiet cat, unsure of a lot of things at a lot of times, but just finding a way to keep it together and you know, just, we're gonna edit all this out anyway, so.
No, we're not.
Oh man.
I'm keeping it all. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. With the last question, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a few words, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
All right. Sex.
Great.
Religion.
Lie.
Poverty.
All around us. But that was 3 words.
It's all right. Flawed.
Me.
Challenge.
Life.
Survive.
Have to. 2 words.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time, brother.
Oh, anytime, brother.
Indeed.
My yesterdays has given me hope for today. I see you in the future. My last rites. I'ma do something y'all ain't never heard me do. It's Crow. What else would you expect, baby? In the blink of midnight. In the blink of midnight. Everything can change. In the blink of midnight. Just in that blink. In the blink of midnight. I woke up today. Mind on my money. I got bills to pay. I work too damn hard for it to stay the same. Lord knows there gotta be a better way. Don't wanna bet my freedom, they'll take it away. So I say, fight for what's yours.